Hi. So Kris Jenner have been going viral in China. People started using her as a profile image, a wallpaper, even a kind of lucky symbol for success. At first, that sounds like a joke, but it says a lot about what people are feeling, because this is not really about Kris Jenner being a person. It's about what she represents. She feels like someone that is not waiting for permission from others, someone who knows what she wants, and someone who knows how to turn personality into power. And I think that hits the nerve. Especially in China, people are just educated to be careful, moderate, and not too extreme. And in Chinese culture, there is a long-term influence of Confucian philosophy. That is to stay in the middle, stay balanced, and not stand out too much. That can be a strength, but it also can create a lot of pressure because the ambition for people is still there, the desire to be seen is still there, and the need to express yourself is still there. But all of this, they don't always have a public space. So when people see someone like Kris Jenner, they see much more than just a celebrity. They're seeing a totally different level of energy that they may want to claim for themselves. And this is the real point. Not only admiration, but a desire for internalization. And I think this is something people may misunderstand. Some will think liking someone meaning you're being a fan of someone. But real admiration can mean much deeper than that. The people who change you the most are often the people whose traits you are trying to take inside of you. You notice how they carry themselves, how they speak, how they react, and how they make decisions, how they deal with pressures and conflicts, how they represent their identity in the public without apologizing for it. And then, if you pay more attention, you start asking yourself, like, what exactly am I responding to here? This question matters a lot because once you can identify these traits, you can start working on it. For example, if you admire someone's confidence, don't just say, oh, I want that level of confidence. Instead, you should ask, what really creates confidence? Maybe it is decisiveness. Maybe it's the self-trust. Maybe it's that they don't like to over-explain themselves. Or it's just maybe they feel comfortable of being misunderstood. Once you got that, you stop chasing a really vague feeling and start building a real skill. And that is how traits become yours. Not by copying the surface stuff, but study the structure underneath. And that is also why I feel so deeply with Lady Gaga. I did not just like her for her music talent. I love the courage and the resilience she carried with her throughout the past decades. That's much more powerful than music itself. And I love the fact how she turned her childhood and teenagerhood trauma or pain into expression, that she made individuality so powerful. And she never really asked the world for permission to be herself in the public. And over time, it slowly influenced me as well. It showed me that when you really like someone, you don't just admire them. You will try to study the traits in them that is really calling your attention. And then you will adapt, learn these traits, and make them a part of your own life. This is very practical and actually can mean a lot for your life. It creates values to you, bring your life to a totally different level of experience. So if you like someone, you can feel that admiration. Here is a simple way to process it. First, do not just stop at I like them. You need to be more specific. Break it down, like I like their boldness. I like how they speak so passionately. I like how they don't hold anything back. I like how they can be so unafraid to be seen in the public. And second, identify the behaviors behind the traits. So boldness is not just a vibe. It might look like speaking out earlier before it became a consensus. It can also mean making space and make decisions faster. And maybe it's simple as not editing or polishing yourself too much. And third, try it in baby steps. And this is a super important step. It keeps you stay longer and further. You obviously don't become another person overnight, right? So you need to test the traits first. You practice in low-risk conditions, and you let your nerve systems get used to it. And fourth, the last step, always keep what is real inside you. Just don't become the copy of someone else. You are not trying to be Kris Jenner or Lady Gaga or someone else. you're just trying to activate the full version of yourself with all these traits you are admiring for a long time. You are building them into your own characters. So this is why trends like this always interest me a lot. They may look like fandom on the surface, but underneath, they are more about identity. People are not just consuming an image or an idol. They're trying to manifest and make that traits a part of themselves. The deeper meaning, after all, Kris Jenner is not a magic. She's a mirror. And sometimes, the real reason something goes viral is because it gives people evidence and permission to recognize something that they already wanted to become. So have you adopted any traits from your idols? Drop in the comment. I'll see you in the next video.